Hello once again, everyone, and welcome to Cruisnick's Purgatory. I'm your host, Cruisnick X. Alongside me, the wonderful Aria Stormborn.
Hey, you.
So, we are well into the Magical Ranged DPS storyline, otherwise known as the Tale of Neilbert. In our last episode, we did a little bit of recon regarding the cardinal virtue known as phronesis. Now, what phronesis does is summon void gates that pretty much suck in anything nearby. But it was on investigation of one of these black holes that we found a small child who we just happened to pull out of the void. Now, this raises a ton of questions, and the most notable question of all is, who's the kid? So hopefully we'll get an answer to that question in this next episode. So, let's not waste any more time and get right down to it with the level 74 quest, Echoes of the Past. Ah, there you are. You'll be happy to know that the boy is awake and seems to be no worse for the wear. Physically speaking, at least. There's just one rub, you see. He has no recollection of where he came from, or just how he managed to get swallowed up into the void. Well, that's a fine kettle of fuck all. In fact, other than his own name, Tainer, he can't remember much of anything at all. He seems a good lad, mind you. He eats my half-assed cooking with a smile and nary a word of complaint. Yet I reckon he's hurting inside, and badly. We must reunite him with his parents with all due speed. I suggested that he go for a stroll around Mordsuk, in the hopes that the sights might help to jog his memories. He can't have wandered far. Why don't you go check up on him? Huh. Doesn't this sound dangerously close to the 60 to 70 role quest, the 60 to 70 Red Mage quest line?
Just a little bit.
Alright, let's find Tainer. There he is. And in new clothes, no doubt. Do not tell me. You are the one who rescued me from the flow, yes? I feel from you the same warmth that reached out to me when I was adrift in the ether. Well, I'll be damned. The boy's a sharp one. And that's not the least of it. The Ka who examined him said they could feel a great power welling up from within him. Despite his young age, Tainer here seems to possess a remarkable command of the magical arts. Perhaps I do, and yet, I cannot say. Try as I might, I can recall nothing of who I am, or where I came from. Only the darkness. No need for apologies, boy. You did well just to make it back to us. Speaking of which, can you remember anything at all of what you felt when you were adrift in the void? That I remember. Or at least I think I do. I recall a vague sensation of someone passing alongside me. Indeed, I believe this is what roused me from my slumber. If the hollows truly are a gate between worlds, that would mean that someone recently traveled from ours to another, or from another to ours. But that's not possible. Or is it? You'd be surprised. You know something I don't, friend? Why not? I won't pry for the details. Ah, well, no sense racking our brains over matters beyond our comprehension. Let's just concentrate on what we can do. Namely, finding the boy here a home. No doubt his memories will come back to him in due time.
You truly do that? For me? But the two of you have already saved my life. I couldn't possibly burden you any further.
Ha! It's no burden at all. Besides, if we can figure out just who you are and where you came from, it just might lead us to the answers we seek. Now, let's consider the options. One possibility is that you're an orphan, all alone in this world without a soul to care for or look after you. And yet, this seems unlikely. Yes, the mystical powers you possess say otherwise. If you are truly as skilled in magic as they say, then stands to reason that someone trained you in the art. Who this master of yours is, and whether you are of their blood or simply received their tutelage, this I cannot say. But either way, I'm certain they're worried sick about you.
If that truly is so, I would very much like to meet this person too.
Well, that's good. That settles it then. Let's get down to business. I took the liberty of inquiring around Mord Sook in the Crystarium. Unfortunately, there have been no reports of missing persons matching Taynor's description, which means that we have no choice but to take our search elsewhere. I know of a merchant in town whose travels often take him far afield. Let's have a talk with him and see if he's heard any helpful rumors. Alright. Alright, where is he? Ah, there he is. Rumors of a missing boy, you say? Funny that you ask. It's a long shot, I reckon, but I overheard something the other day that might be of use. On my way to Mord Sook, I stopped over at the inn at Journey's Head. There I met an ailing mage. As the carers told it, he'd been ambushed by a sin eater and was separated from his child in the battle. Bloody hells! Could it be? If the sin eater that attacked the poor man was Phronesis, that would explain everything.
This man you speak of, could he be my father? We must go to him at once.
Agreed. I only hope that the man is... No, there's no point in presuming the worst. Let's make for the inn and see what the carers there can tell us. Alright, let's go to the inn. Thankfully, that has its own aetheryte. Let's see if we can find out some information. Ho there! I hear there's a mage in your care who's lost his boy. I do believe we have him right here.
I fear there must be some mistake. The boy in question has already been found. This is him, right here. What? So it wasn't my father after all. This boy with you, he too has been separated from his family.
Just so. We heard that a man here was looking for his son, and we just hoped. Alas, it seems it wasn't meant to be.
But there are many people here, yes? Might I ask around and see if any of the others are my family? But of course. Yet many of the people here are quite ill, and in many cases in considerable pain. It is not a place for a young child to walk around unattended.
Indeed it's not. Guess it's either myself or Chris here should accompany him.
I'll go with him. The walk might help me take my mind off of things.
Not a bad idea if the lad doesn't mind. I reckon Taylor would rather be with someone of his own age. And off they go. Take his mind off of things. Speaking of which, how is the boy's father holding up?
I fear the poor man has already departed on his journey. He is a man no longer. The child insisted upon staying by his father's side until the last. I permitted this out of respect for him, though part of me regrets the choice. None so young should suffer such horrors.
Oh yeah, we've seen a person become a sin eater. It is not a pretty sight.
It was some small solace to learn that he has living relatives who reside at the Crystarium. In fact, I was just making preparations to escort him there myself.
I see. Reckon we should also find someone to look after Tana as well. Don't get me wrong, friend. I haven't given up on the prospect of finding the boy's family. But we have no other leads, and a deadly sin eater still on the loose. If the lad tags along with us every step of the way, he's far more likely to end up dead, or worse than ever to reunite with his family. Here's what I propose. We find someone to watch after Tana for the time being, get back on the hunt, and gather whatever clues we can about his origins along the way. Very well. But we must see that he is safe. Aye, that goes without saying. Let's have a talk with the proprietor of the Wandering Stairs. He's a kind enough chap and knows damn near everyone in these parts. With any luck, he'll be able to direct us to a willing and able guardian. Look, I don't like this any more than you do. But it's the best we can do for the boy given our circumstances. At any rate, let's find him and share the news. Don't worry, it's my decision and I intend to take responsibility for it. Yeah, if only. Well, it looks like Nephrin headed to bed. Bad news, friend. It seems the two young ones got into a quarrel of sorts and Tana's up and running away. Seems the lad mentioned how he'd come out from one of the hollows. The other boy put two and two together and figured he'd been attacked by a sin eater.
Then I said my dad was attacked by a sin eater, and then he turned into one himself. So I asked, what if you turn into a sin eater too? Tana's face went all white. He kept saying, what do you mean? What do you mean over and over and over again? I couldn't take it anymore. Before I knew it, I was shouting at him, shut up, just shut up. I bet you're turning into a sin eater already. Why did I say such a mean and nasty thing? Don't be so hard on yourself, lad. Both of you had had a rough go of it these past few days. Nobody could blame either one of you for feeling a bit on edge. But we must hurry and find Tana before he comes to harm. Let's split up. I'll search to the west and you take the east. And be careful out there. Let's move. God, I love this music. So much. Yeah, that's not a pretty sight.
And there we go. Alright, boy, relax. When I heard the clamor of battle, I feared the worst. But I see that you have everything under control. Are you okay, lad? Is he, though?
Forgive me. I don't deserve this kindness. I was just so scared. I was worried about what would become of me if I never recovered my memories, and then I started thinking, what if I ended up like that boy's father? What if it's already happening to me?
That's one matter you needn't worry yourself with. The cow who examined you told me as much. You suffered no direct wounds. You're in no more danger of turning into a sin eater than Chris or me.
Is that so? That's good to hear. But I must apologize to that boy. I should have known better than to badger him about such things. Especially after what happened to his father.
Funny thing that. He was saying the same thing about you. You both have good hearts, lad. And you've been through more than any man should. There's no need to be ashamed about your feelings.
There is still so much I do not understand about this world. Why does no one here know of me? Am I doomed to be alone for the rest of my days? Why? Why must it be this way? If only I could remember something. Anything! I'm sick of not knowing who I am. I'm sick of being alone.
And it's flashback time, courtesy of the Echo. Now it's your turn, Tana. And do not be disheartened by your last attempt. Even the greatest of mages have known failure.
Your command of magic is the equal to my own. If I can succeed, there is no reason why you cannot. Free your mind of worry and focus. Thank you, Nielbert. I shall try my best.
Wait, what? Well, that's a new development.
Who's that?
What was that?
Who's Male Brat?
Nielbert.
Yeah.
He's one of the 4 warriors of light who stopped the flood.
Oh, okay.
Wicked White! You alright, Chris? Yeah. And we've discovered something interesting.
I remember now. I was standing here on these blighted plains. My head hung low in shame. Then Nielbert turned to me with a smile and haunting words. Nielbert, why does the name sound so familiar?
I reckon we've much to discuss, but not in this god's forsaken place. Let's head back to the inn and see if we can't get to the bottom of this. Oh, we are definitely going to need to get to the bottom of this. Alright. Where is it? The Inner Journey's head. There it is. Well, this is an interesting development. Tana! Are you alright? I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have said those nasty things! Forgive me for reacting as I did. I'm fine. In fact, I seem to have recovered some of my memories. Really? That's wonderful! Maybe you won't feel so scared and alone anymore. I'm leaving to go live in the Crystarium with my relatives. Promise me you'll come visit? I mean, after you get your memories back and all, of course. It's a promise. Until next time, my friend. I knew that you two would work things out. Now, let's return to Mordsuk. We have more than our share of questions that need answering. Yeah, a lot of questions need answering. As I saw it, first you fainted all of a sudden. When you came to, a portion of Tanner's memories had returned. What in the world happened out there? Alright, but you're not gonna like it. The power to look into the past, eh? And you're certain that what Chris described matches up with your recollection of the past? I don't know how to break this to you, lad, but your friend Neilbert that was with you that day, he's no ordinary boy. He's none other than the very man who became Phronesis, one of the gods' damned warriors of light. If he was just a young child in your memories, that means that what you saw took place over 100 years ago. Would that it were just a coincidence, another boy with the same name. But no, judging from the formidable command of magic, we can only assume it was him. On the way back, I managed to recall some more about Nielbert and myself. We were taken in by a group of mages, a consortium of sorts. They were searching for a means to open a hole to another world, and were recruiting young children with high magical aptitude for the task. Nielbert and myself were the two. Sorry, cannot talk today. Nielbert and myself were the two they chose. You can't be serious! And yet, that would explain the Sin Eater's ability to summon those damned hollows. And if you possessed the same knowledge and training as Nielbert did, it could also explain why you were able to survive time. But what I don't understand at all... I cannot say for sure, and yet my memories, they are slowly coming back to me. In time, I may be able to help you to find a way to close the hollows. You'd be a lifesaver if you could, but don't overburden yourself. You're still recovering after all. In the meantime, don't worry. Chris and I will see that you're safe. Okay, what was all that business about leaving him at the Crystarium? I thought Tano was just a victim of the Sin Eater. To think he was actually friends with the man himself. Back when he was still a man. This can't be simple coincidence. Yes, I'm convinced of it now. The child holds the key to defeating Phronesis. We must keep him safe and not let him out of our sights. Besides, look at how hard he's trying to recover his own memories. Not so heartless as to kick the poor lad aside before he's figured matters out. That's kind of ya. But we can't very well rush things. You and I will continue to prepare for the battle ahead, while waiting for the rest of Tano's memories to come back to him. That is to say, if it's alright with you, lad. I'm so sorry. I couldn't possibly burden you any further. Look, lad, I've only known you for a short while, but I can tell you've a good heart and a good head on your shoulders. I can only begin to imagine the horrors you've been through, not to mention the fears and uncertainty you face even now. But I want you to promise me this. No more apologies. You're no burden to us, not in the least. You're a valuable member of our band, and as long as you're willing, I want you with us. Isn't that right, Chris? We could definitely use your magical ability.
I see. Thank you, Cerigg. Thank you, Chris. I will aid in your quest in whatever way I can.
Now that's more like it. We're counting on you, lad. And with that, we've completed another magical DPS role quest, and we've gained a new ally in the fight against Phronesis. But what will the future hold for us? And how much more will we find out about Njelbert? All questions for the next episode. But until then, that's it for this episode of Cruznik's Purgatory. Thank you to Arya Stormborn for joining us.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the show. As always, if you're watching this on Twitch or live at PlayStation and you like this show, click the follow button. Be sure to turn on notifications so you're informed of all of my live streams and videos the moment they air. And be sure to subscribe to me for exclusive access to Cruznik's Purgatory. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel by clicking here. Click here to watch more by me. Click here to watch the next episode. And click here to watch the previous one. Until next time, Cruznik X, signing out.